welcome back. You're still watching Business Morning here on Channels Television, and we're still on how to boost Nigeria's foreign reserve. Well, records note that while non-oil export is increasingly becoming a major source of foreign exchange earnings for Nigeria, accounting for just 11.32% of total exports in 2021, oil still contributes about 76% of the country's total exports, and that's according to the National Bureau of Statistics. So what can we do from here? We have Dr. Bamidele Ayemibo, lead consultant with 3T Impex Consulting, joins us for that conversation. Good morning, Dr. Bamidele. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. And you? Well, this is not a new conversation. The federal government has talked about diversifying the economy for, many years now. But I guess as someone who is practicing in that area, would you say we are making progress? We see that last year, the non-oil exports was just about 11.3%, thereabout.
Yeah, we're making progress now. The effort that has been made this year is generating some positive feedback, according to what CBN governor said at the last conference that was done by CBN in, I think it was in June or July. So now there is a deliberate effort. Before now, we've not really had deliberate effort towards growing export in Nigeria. We've been diversifying by mouth, no direct effort in terms of policy in that direction. But now we are seeing that, as a matter of fact, one of the things I think is helping the result the CBN seems to be getting, at least some increase in inflow coming in, was because of the incentive they are giving to exporters. Because, I mean, think about it. You are in an environment where inflation is almost approaching 20%, and you are going to export, and then you are going to bring back your money, the foreign exchange, and you are going to be exchanging it in a window that is almost 200 naira from the parallel market. But your cost for that export was incurred based on the expenses in the parallel market, because some of them will import raw materials to be able to manufacture, and they're going to source forex outside the in window to be able to bring in those raw materials to produce. But they are expected to be able to sell in that window. What CBN is doing right now is to support such businesses that are adding value in export by trying as much as possible to give them some, I would call it palliative, 65 naira to $1 if you're able to repatriate. Now, so that seems to be generating a lot of interest. But more importantly also is, not that we are not exporting as a nation, we're actually exporting, but we are doing a lot of commodity export. So if I'm exporting commodity, I really do not generate as much income as those that are adding value to it. So let me give you a good example. I like to use the example of cocoa, that the total market size is about $9.35 billion. Total market size in the world. And West Africa, including Nigeria, is contributing about 75% of that export. But guess what? The Netherlands, the German, the Switzerland, the UK, adding value and producing chocolate, that market is about $29 billion. So who is really making money? So if we export a lot of cocoa, the highest we'll get is about $10 billion, even if we are the only one exporting it in the world. However, if by just adding value, we'll be able to tap into the larger market of about $29 billion. So there are a lot of effort being made, and a little result seems to be generating. I'm hoping that the government will be able to keep up with this.
So I would have asked, why are we not adding value? But we both live in Nigeria, and I think, the answer is quite obvious. So I think I would rather ask, are there ways? I mean, it's good you brought up the issue of cocoa, because we just discussed cocoa in our last conversation. We mentioned it with the prices increasing at this time. It's not just oil that Nigeria can benefit from. We can also benefit from this. And then we had the president of the Cocoa Association a couple of weeks ago, and he talked about why they are not even able to maximize even the cocoa production, not even adding value. The issue of seedlings, the issue of access to land. So it's good you say that. It's comforting that you say, or from an insider's point of view, that the government is making efforts. But when we have some of these basic needs still unmet, the issue of seedlings still unmet, access to land still unmet, and we are here talking about it every day, we just wonder, what else can we talk about? Where else can we go?
In grain and foreign reserve, export is a major, agri export is a major area, value addition, but there are so many other products within the space also. For example, soya beans. Just laying credence to what you said earlier, soya beans, if we want to do commodity, like I often say that, if we want to do commodity, then let's focus on commodity that really are of large demand in the world. So, for example, Nigeria export cocoa, cashew, ginger, gum arabic, sesame seed. If you add the total market size together, it's not up to $20 billion. But the market size for commodity like corn is about $30 billion. Market size for commodity like soya beans is about $60 billion. So you say other commodities that we really can begin to also focus on to be able to generate this foreign exchange. And if we are having issue with being able to have access to land, then that become a challenge. If the cocoa association are saying that because in Nigeria today, we are looking for forex and we need to generate this forex and we want to export to generate this forex. I think it's just working with the state government to be able to have access to those land to be able to cultivate as much as possible. Because it's been told that Nigeria have not cultivated up to half of its arable land. And think about this, 70% of our farmers are said to be peasant. We've not cultivated up to half of our arable land. We have over 30, 40%, over almost 50% post-harvest losses. But Nigeria is among the top producer of most exportable commodity in the world, but we are unable to export those products. So while we are fixing production, we should also look at quality issues, which NEPC is doing a lot in that regard, and also look at market development. So while we are increasing volume of production, quality issue become important, market development become important. But for me, I think while we are increasing volume, we should just support as much as possible value addition. Look at this. Some states in Nigeria are said to not be viable. And I'm asking myself, how can you say a state is not viable and the state is producing products that the state can export itself? I'm wondering, why can't state government in Nigeria take it upon themselves to say, look, we as a government, partnering, for example, a state that produces a lot of palm kernel can partner with Okomu Oil or any of the oil palm producing company in Nigeria and begin to export it as a state and generate foreign exchange directly. Why is it that we have to wait? We are looking at generating foreign exchange. Why do we have to wait for Abuja to be able to give us money? Now, the money is not there. We're not getting enough money from from the crude oil export. Why can't Nigerians say, and this is the time to have this conversation because now election is coming. Nigerian people, citizens, begin to ask your state governor, I'm going to build road, I'm going to build a skyscraper, I'm going to build school, I'm going to build hospital. How will you raise the money? Exactly. State government should begin to see the need to export, just the way federal government export oil and generate money from export directly yourself.
I really appreciate that point you brought because when politicians are being interviewed at this time, it's so easy to say, oh, I'm going to make the naira at par with the dollar, I'm going to build road and build railways, and now the country is broke. What are you going to use to actually fund that? And the issue of state governments, we've been talking about it, and state governments also have their own reasons. Some of them say, oh, the exclusive list stops them from maximizing their resources. They don't know where to start. Some of them can't even pay workers.
That is a lame excuse. When the governor of Ekiti State was there, he made an offer to them, look, you guys should begin to export this thing yourself. Nothing is stopping the state government in Nigeria from forming a special purpose vehicle with a private organization, set up an entity. And work with it. You can bring in technical partners who will come and explore minerals in your state, and you export those minerals, and you pay royalty to the federal government. So the exclusively does not stop the state government from registering limited liability company with a public-private and private sector and explore the mineral in their state. But no law is stopping them from doing that in Nigeria. I think the challenge for a governor is that when you have a governor who knows he will be able to pay salary even if you do nothing, if he does nothing from January 1 to January 31st, he will still pay salary. There's no incentive to work. So now there is no money. We should be asking them, how will you make money? How will you create jobs? How will you generate revenue? Don't tell me you tax people who are not even being paid salary. Don't tax me down. You collect your tax, no doubt, but that tax is not going to be enough because you're not even paying salary in the first place. So why don't you look at what you produce in your state? Look for businesses that are in that space you can partner with. Do you know that they can actually partner with even the citizens? Let me give you an example. I serve in Jigawa State, and someone will tell me Jigawa State is not viable. Jigawa State produces sesame seed. Jigawa State can get its citizens to produce sesame seed. Government give them land, give them seedling, give them all the support, and give them a guarantee. Cooperative in every local government, give them a guarantee that we will buy all this sesame seed when you produce it. Everybody goes to the market to produce. You are creating job. In 3-4 months, when it's ready, your partner you are working with, is a specialist in export of this product, is able to get it from the collection center, clean them up, bag them, look for buyer, export them. When the money come back, pay the farmers who are supplied, maybe after 3 months or 6 months. Share the proceeds with the company you are working with and have enough funds for the state. This model will help the state government, not just to create jobs, but to generate revenue. So there's no way the state government can say they are not, there's no exclusively not stopping you from exploring either the minerals or export of commodity in your state. You know that of course we are going to be able to generate the point we are looking for.
That also reminds me that the RT200 by the CBN, they also have space for state governments, you know, to be able to also benefit from that scheme. But I don't hear a lot about their participation. It's more about the individual exporters who are jumping on that platform to make some of those money that the CBN is offering.
Yes, in fact, you know, in the RT200 there are 5 pillars to it. The first one is on expanding the production of the value addition, that's processing, then expanding the production of the raw materials so that we have enough for the processing. The third one is incentive. This is 5 naira to $1 that CBN is giving. The fourth one is what you just mentioned, partnering with state government to build terminals in their location to be able to do export clearance at the terminal. And if it's a state that is not landlocked, it can easily get a badge and move it straight to the next port, either in Port Harcourt or in Lagos, for them to be able to ship it out. So that means the state can actually partner with CBN. CBN said to make funds available with the state to be able to build those terminals so that if I am in a state far away from where there is, there is a port, we can have a terminal there where the good can be cleared for export. Customs are there, not the agencies are there, and we can move the goods straight to the port. And like I said, the state government can do this for themselves, for the state government to generate income. If the state government gets involved, we're not going to generate a lot of revenue in terms of foreign exchange, and of course, that will probably help us at the end of the day to overcome this current challenge we are facing, because then they will be able to galvanize their people, and of course, having enormous resources to be able to support the people to produce large enough for us to export. Because things right now, we have enough land to export, to produce and export, but we are not exploring it at all. And the fact that we're going through this challenge become important. For example, let me talk about importers. Importers in Nigeria today are having huge challenge getting foreign exchange. An importer is almost ready for export. In my opinion, 60% ready for export. All he needs to do is to set up an export desk and begin to look for commodity they can export, or they can actually export their own product. Think of a company that imports battery from China, for example. You are importing lead battery from China. If you import lead battery from China, lead oil is in Nigeria that you can export to your manufacturer, who can in turn produce battery from it, and you can bring it to Nigeria. So you can have a symbiotic relationship, even with your manufacturer producing those products for you. So importers that are currently looking for forex is another area. They have a lot of naira, looking for dollar, up, down, looking for dollar, but they can generate this dollar themselves. CBN has said, look, go and generate your dollar yourself so you can be able to fund your transaction.
Yeah, well, Dr. Bamidele Ayemibo, sorry, interesting conversation that we do hope that the state governments can actually cash in on this. It's not new, it's right there in our faces, and we do wish, you know, that somebody will cash in on this and make a change in the landscape of especially our foreign reserve and even, you know, the value of the naira at the end of the day. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you.
All right.